everyone, welcome back to the channel today. Thank you for joining me on another drive with me on my way to work this morning. Hopefully we had a good weekend on a Monday morning, of course. 4-day week though, like that, Easter obviously. Enough of that, into the football, into what we care about. So, good weekend of football, decent entertainment, not too many shocks I don't think. Yeah, we'll get into it. Well, there's a couple of big talking points probably to get into. We'll start off, I think, from yesterday's results. So we're looking straight at Newcastle against Manchester United. Now, I don't think it's a shock to anyone how that United lost. Maybe some people are shocked by the scoreline. Sorry guys, the sun is very, very bright today. Yeah, some people might be shocked by the scoreline, but I'm not gonna lie, when I was doing my predictions like a couple weeks back when I was doing my video for that, which you could go still watch, it's still relevant, predictions for the rest of the season, in terms of predicting every single result, but obviously getting less relevant the more we get into it. But anyway, yeah, I had Newcastle like winning 3-0. I didn't think United actually get a goal, and if you look at how the game played out, they were quite fortunate to probably get a goal, to be honest. I thought Newcastle were excellent. They pressed, they harassed them, they created opportunities at will. United had no answers. United would play a couple of nice passes in their own half, but they would make no ground. So like, they would do really nice triangles, end up going back to the keeper and then just hoofing it. So there was no out ball, like there was no little triangle here and then quickly get out to the right hand side. Like, there was none of that, because Newcastle was so high up and they were just, United did not trust their players basically on the ball. So when you watch like a City or an Arsenal or Liverpool, when they do play out the back, they trust each other on the ball. So if someone's marked, they'll still give it to them. United players don't do that. That's what I realised yesterday. That's the difference between like a top side and the rest basically. It's that trust between the players, and United just didn't have it. They weren't up for the game as either. Like the fight just wasn't there for United, I don't think. Like when I was watching the game, oh, one second, I want to see if there's ambulance behind me. Puts the siren on, I think they are. Yeah, there was just no fight in the game. Their goal came out absolutely nowhere. I was texting my Newcastle mate going like, you guys are battering them. Like this is gonna be big. Then the course 2 minutes later they went up there and scored. It's like, really? Cool. One sec, let's go past. Yeah, so it's just a bit of a weird game, to be honest. But Newcastle fully deserved it, and they have a chance to go third on Wednesday against Crystal Palace, which, if you look at the weekend, you're probably backing them to do that. Bless me. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're probably backing Crystal Palace to probably lose that game now, unfortunately for them. And if they can win that game, all of a sudden they're third in the table. And I said this in my video whenever I did the predictions, that they will come top 4. I have so much faith in Man United to come top 4. Like, no, 1 second. Yeah, I have no qualms with Newcastle coming top 4. I think they'll definitely do it. I think the form they're in, the run they've got, I think you're definitely going to see Newcastle in that top 4. Forest, the ones that got to look over their shoulder now, because they might drop down to 4 for the first time in a very long time. I think Newcastle will be more consistent than Chelsea ever were, chasing Forest down. And I think you're going to see a very, very lively Newcastle for these last few games of the season. I told you, this Carabao Cup, it's not going to put them to sleep. It's going to wake them up. And it's going to make them realise we want Champions League football. We want to be on these biggest occasions again. So Newcastle will get that top 4 spot. They've got Villa next week, which will be a massive game. I feel like it's Villa at home, but I could be wrong about that. And what does it mean for Ruben Amorim Man United? Well, they are 3 points off of West Ham, who are in 17th right now. So they could genuinely finish one place above the relegation zone United this season. And had these promoted sides had anything more about them, and had they been on the 32 mark, 30 points, 32 points right now, you would have United in the relegation battle. And that's not being dramatic, that's just being completely honest about it. They would be in a relegation scrap right now. They're just fortunate there's not enough down there right now to compete with them. And like I said, with Amorim, he's gonna have to clear house a lot of these players, because a lot of them players just don't want it. They just don't want it. Like, they didn't want to fight yesterday. Some of the Newcastle players were absolutely battering into them, and United players were just cowering away. They just didn't want any part of it. I felt for the keeper with the mistake he made. I thought he actually had a pretty decent game outside of that. But obviously keepers are judged on their mistakes, not on what they do well a lot of the time, unfortunately for keepers. So I think Onana's going to go back in goal on Thursday, apparently, and I mean, I guess you can't argue with it, but he has been horrendous. I think they have to move him on this summer. We need to look at Man United more in depth and just do some analysis on them and figure out what they can actually do in the summer, because their squad is horrendous. And like I said, there's just no fight or no belief in that side anymore. Bruno had no answers yesterday, but again, I felt sorry for Bruno. I was watching him in the game, and he was literally doing everything for that United side. Like, he was picking the ball up deep, he was trying to get beyond as well. And I think when Xerxes went off, he helped off the pitch, because I think he realised, like, right, I'm by myself now, because none of these mugs are going to be helping me. And Xerxes was the only one who had a little bit about him in that game, actually. Had a couple of little troubles in the game. And I think I actually don't mind Xerxes. I think he's quite a fun player to watch sometimes. But yeah, I just thought they were so toothless going forward. I know Garnacho got the goal out of basically nothing, but I just thought they were so poor. And I think I seen a quote on Sky earlier saying that Man United, still waking up like Monday morning, Man United are just not good at anything, and they're not wrong. United are not good at anything. They're not good at defending. They're not good at keeping the ball. They're not good at scoring goals. They're not good at creating goals. Like, they're not good at set pieces. There's no strength to this side right now. It doesn't necessarily mean they're all weaknesses, but they're definitely strengths. Like I said, they'll have a couple of nice passing moves here and there, which means the players maybe get more to grips with the formation. But it's the triangles and then getting out of them triangles and where to go afterwards is where they're struggling. They just can't seem to find a ball out of those little triangles. And if you look at when Guardiola plays, his player always has like 4 options for a pass whenever he has the ball, especially in the middle of the pitch or like back 2/3. They always have like 4 options they can play for a pass. And Amorim side just don't. They have like 2, and that obviously means it's easier for them to press as well as being a Newcastle side. So I think that result is very damning in terms of the season. United have got to brush it off. He obviously made some changes. They've got to brush it off and get going for Thursday, because they need to win that game against Bilbao for their season. Otherwise, their season's done. Like, it's finished. He can drop whoever he wants after that, basically, and just go from there. That's it on United and Newcastle. We'll have a quick look at the Chelsea game. Obviously, Chelsea 2, Ipswich 2, and quite an interesting game. I thought it was a shock to see Ipswich go in front. They deserved their 2 goals in terms of the way they built them up. Really nice goals. Really poor from Chelsea at the back. They obviously made some more changes with the Thursday fixtures, and the changes don't seem to work whenever he introduces them. Maresca just can't make the right decisions on the players to play. Well, I just don't understand when he picks his teams. He's got 2 right backs on the bench, and he's got no right back start in this game. Like, surely a competent manager realises, oh wait, I have 2 right backs on my bench and I have no one starting. I just don't understand sometimes what he does. But he's the football manager, not me. Maybe he knows something I don't. But Chelsea fans must be pulling their absolute hair out, because they've struggled against Ipswich twice this season now, and their form doesn't look like it's picking up. I know that they're technically unbeaten since the international break, but they've got 2 draws, 1-0 against Brentford and 2-2 against Ipswich, and the 1-0 against Spurs, who just got battered off Wolves. So if that's the standards they're getting judged to, I'm not sure Chelsea fans will be enjoying themselves that much, to be honest. Nicholas Jackson was back to missing a couple of chances again here and there. Like I said, I actually do like him. I like him at Chelsea. I just don't think he should be the main striker right now. He should be like what Solomon Kalou was, basically, where he comes on, does a good job for a bit, but isn't the starting striker, you know. Palmer's still going on his goal drought. Technically he got an assist for the Jadon Sancho goal, which we have to talk about, obviously. He's been under a lot of criticism lately. Rumours swirling around this future that they might not sign him up permanently. 5 mil clause, something they can pay to get out of it. I think he's basically just got himself that move. I think he's got himself the move to Chelsea with that goal, I'm not going to lie. Because Maresca obviously likes him, and the board will be looking for something to just convince them, and they see that goal, they'll be like, yeah, you know what, we'll keep him. What it means for Sancho in the context of everything, I'm not sure. I think that must be his first shot on target since Boxing Day or something like that, I've heard. And I actually do like Sancho, but the issue is he just doesn't do it often enough. We obviously saw it against Spurs earlier in the season, like he produced a really nice goal, but sorry guys, but he just doesn't do it. He'll do it again in like 10 games time. So that's the only issue with Sancho. Obviously, it's a great goal, and he basically took the game and went, look, give me the ball, and he just stuck it in the top corner, which was fair play to him. You know, that was quality from him. But I just don't know if he's built for the Premier League. I think maybe not necessarily the Premier League. Maybe he's not built for a Chelsea chaotic side. I think he'd be perfect for if Man City had him, he'd be perfect, because it's what Guardiola. You can tell he's come from Man City a little bit, because you don't need to be that quick for a Guardiola side. It can help, but you don't need to be quick. Like, you can just have techie feet, and he's that sort of winger where you can come inside, edge of the box, skip past a player or two, and just put a nice little dink pass or something like that, or a little rolled finish or something. That's what Guardiola likes his wingers to do a lot of the time. So he would be perfect like Guardiola side, but maybe not for a Chelsea side who are struggling to create goals as it is. And Ipswich, I think they're all but down now. I think we knew that before the international break. I think yesterday's result just confirmed it. So they just can't hold results. And 2-0 up away, they've got to try and see that through. I know that's harder, it's easier said than done, but they did so well. Like they've just got to dig deep there and get the result to give themselves a glimmer of hope. Chelsea, I think they're just seeing the slump in their results now. They've got Nicholas Jackson back, so maybe you'll see an uptick in form. Palmer looked like he might have got a goal yesterday if it wasn't for a decent save from the keeper. He looks like he's slowly getting back there, Palmer, but still not quite where they want him to be. And they need him firing if they want to get that top 4, that top 5 spot, which I think they'll miss out on personally, but we'll see. We'll quickly touch on Liverpool. Not going to go into too much detail with Liverpool because the league's sewn up already, and yeah, there's not really much to discuss with Liverpool at the moment. They're just kind of trotting along, getting their contract signed, and yeah, I think fair to them. You know, they could have easily just said, "I will hit the point there against West Ham," but they wanted to win. they really wanted to win that game, and they only need 2 more wins now, I think, from the last 7 games, something like that, 6 games, to confirm the title. So they've been brilliant, you know, and fair play to them. Even coming from an Arsenal fan, like, just fair play. They've taken advantage of Man City falling off, Arsenal being poor, and they've got every inch they can in this league. I don't know how many points they'll finish on, maybe mid to high 80s, mid low 90s. But either way, they're going to win it by a landslide. So well done to Liverpool, congrats. West Ham, kind of a nothing game for them really. To go to Anfield and expect to get something is a bit, you're asking a lot. So I think they can just talk that one up and be like, look, we didn't really expect to get much out of that game. They were unlucky probably to, they'll feel unlucky, sorry, to get undone by a late goal, but they just got to defend their set pieces better, basically. Van Dijk's obviously just dunked on them, basically, and that's the game done, 1 there. On to Saturday's fixtures, and the big one from Saturday for me was the Man City game. So obviously they went 2-0 down early doors to Crystal Palace, and I thought, oh, this is what I was thinking could happen, like Palace could just hit them on the break, which is what they did for the goals, and realistically it should have been 3. Eze, very, very naive from him when he just left like half a foot of himself offside, looking along the entire line. He knew he did it straight away as well. You can see when he scored, shirt over the head, and he's like, flip, like he's messed that one up because he's given them a chance to rule him out for offside, and it was a poor thing for Eze to do. But because if it goes 3-0, I think it's game set match. I know Man City won 5-2, but it's a much different score to come back from 2-0 to 3-0. And I thought Palace were exceptional for them 2 goals. But fair play to Man City, you know, they turned it around. De Bruyne came to life, hit the post, scored a goal, got an assist. Got like a pre-assist with his header, I think, as well. And he looked back to his best. Only annoying point for me was that he was in my fantasy team and I put him on the bench. Because he hasn't been getting any points for me lately, so that's brilliant. That was really bloody annoying, that. But yeah, that's Man City's season now, basically. They're going to be good, they're going to be bad, they're going to be indifferent, and they're going to get some results along the way. For Palace to concede 5 on the road was a big shock, though. I know they played who was the player they played in central centre back, who's normally a midfielder? I've forgotten his name now. Yeah, I've just blanked, but they didn't have their first choice defence out, and maybe that's one of the reasons why they struggled a bit, maybe in terms of winning that game. They just didn't show the same discipline in defence that they have been, and sorry guys, yeah, it was very disappointing for Palace, really, because they've been so good on the road, and with their defence being so stingy, and they just gave up a couple of not easy goals, but like goals they wouldn't normally be conceding. And City might put them on the road to that top 5 finish, you never know. There's a lot of teams competing for it. I don't think City will have enough to get over the line, but having said that, if they can get Kevin De Bruyne firing, he can win them any game. He can win them any game. He's done it time and time again over the years. So if he's playing pain-free now, like he said, and he's going to play like that every week, there's every chance Man City get into those top 5 positions. And for Kevin De Bruyne, he's obviously come out and said that obviously he's leaving Man City. We kind of already knew that, but he said that he doesn't necessarily mean he's going to go to Saudi. He said he could stay in the Prem if there's offers that come on the table, and I think any team would take him. I think even me as an Arsenal fan, I'd take him. I just think he's got such quality, and if you can get him firing, he's so good. I think maybe you can look at shifting his position. I think you could have him as like that Fabregas-esque player if you just used him in the correct way and you had legs around him. And I think he's worth getting those legs around him because he is that good. I think players have shown they can play to a later age. I look at like a Modric or a Cruz, even a Pirlo from back in the day, Gerrard, like these sort of players with the passing ability and intelligence to run a game, they can play on past their years really. Even when their legs start to go, they can still keep playing. So I would love for De Bruyne to find himself a decent project, not just go to Saudi, because Saudi's always going to be there for De Bruyne. He could do 2 years in Italy or something like that. Like, he could do 2 years somewhere and then get moved to Saudi. So that's what I hope he does. But at the end of the day, he's going to do what's right for him, and that's the only fair thing. But yeah, we'll see where City finish. I still don't think they have they haven't quite got it for top 5. But they might. Like I said, I think it's very dependent on Kevin De Bruyne. So that's City. I'll quickly touch on Arsenal, even though I don't think there's much really to say. Obviously, a bit of a hangover from the Real Madrid game, a bit of a focus on the Real Madrid game as well coming up, and I think it's what you expected really. Bit disappointing to get the point, but at the end of the day, it's not going to make much difference. Forest dropped points, Liverpool going to win the league anyway, so it just goes along with our season, just draws. 12 draws now this season, and it's just too many. They're simple as we need to turn those draws into wins next season, and a lot of the time it's because we can't finish our chances. So we get a striker next season, maybe two-thirds of those draws become wins, and if you draw 4 games and only lose 3 in the season, you could win the league. So that's what we need to be thinking now, and just get our heads switched on for the Real Madrid game, you know. Big job to do in Real Madrid. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, Madrid get an early goal here, and all of a sudden it's going to fall apart." It's like, I hope not. I know it's been in our DNA before, but I just think we've got a different side now, so I hope not. In terms of anything else to talk about this season, there isn't too much really. We'll go to what else is there that's happened on the weekend? Any big talking points? Villa. I thought Villa were very impressive to get that 3-0 win. I know it's against Southampton, and they actually missed 2 penalties, but they have to get the results still. They have to still keep pushing on. The Champions League can only be like a bonus for them. Their main priority should be that league still, because they want to get back into the Champions League, and their best way of doing that is in the league. I think I put them up to 5th or 6th. That result now. Sorry. I think I put up to 5th before the Newcastle game, so maybe it's putting them onto 6th now. And they need to kick on now and keep going. I think they will. I have faith in Villa to actually go and get. I think I had them in 5th in my predictor, so I definitely think they're capable of getting that 5th spot. And I'd love them to do it. I think I really like their squad. I really like Emery. Even as an Arsenal fan, I still respect Emery as well. And yeah, I was very impressed in them just getting the job done. I know it's Southampton, but at the end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you. And if what's in front of you is Southampton, oh, 1 second, I fucked this up a little bit. One second, guys. One sec. Gotta reverse into here. Oh. Need to reverse nice and slowly. Into here. Bam, 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 chicken and ham. There we go. Alright. So, yeah, Villa, impressive 3-0 win. Southampton, obviously down already. Ramsdale playing for a move, you would think, from the looks of it, because he actually had a decent game. Was unfortunate with the second penalty just to get the rebounds put in. And Villa will be turning their attention to PSG now. Watkins, I think, probably trying to justify himself to get that start against PSG, which I think he deserves. I think that's the main talking points I want to give some highlight to. Maybe a little shout out to Brighton and Ipswich game. Sorry, Ipswich and Leicester. Leicester finally breaking their goal drought. They are all but down though, obviously with Wolves beating Tottenham. There's only 1 point. I think Wolves need to relegate Leicester. So I think it's bye-bye Leicester. And Brighton looked a bit, I don't know, they hit the post a lot of times, so they could have battered them, but they just didn't. I think that can happen to Brighton. They're not necessarily the most clinical side, but they play some of the best football in the league sometimes. And finally, we'll touch on Wolves real quick. Obviously, Matheus Cunha coming back, getting a goal in his return, sending the message to the fans, and it looked all good for Wolves. Like, they battered Tottenham. Tottenham didn't have any answers the whole game, and this is what I was saying. Even when Tottenham get their players back from injury, they're still going to struggle. They're not going to get fixed. And once again, like Man United, if the teams below them had anything about them, that relegation scrap would have been on for them and United. I think Tottenham again just need to focus on that Europa League and see what they can do. They've obviously got to go to Frankfurt this week and try and get a win, basically, because they've only come out of their home game with a 1-1 draw. So it's going to be very tough to see what they actually do there. We'll have a look forward to that anyway later in the week, and I'll give my thoughts. Thank you guys for joining me on my way to work today, and have a good week, guys. I'll catch you in the next one, and peace.